Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Crime Centric. This being a show where I talk about the crime dramas that I like. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Blind Spot. This episode kind of opened up with picking up with kind of where that conversation left off with we finding out about the whole Orion situation. And because I debated like last time, I was like, whether that was a metaphorical thing or a literal thing about him saying Orion being the place where Jane died. He said that essentially it was an op that went bad, and that op, like specifically the whole Orion situation, is what led to everything being where it is now. Jane putting herself in this situation, wiping her memory, tattooing herself, like everything up till now was kind of the aftermath of whatever happened during Orion. So, and it does seem like it was a literal death. I can't, honestly, I don't remember what I said last week. I think I said I went more for the metaphorical, I think. Or maybe I did say it was literal. I don't know. Either way, it now seems like it is more of a literal, like she literally died. We have that Russian spy lady. She was basically going to inform on some Russian officials who were smuggling into the country. But before she could, she was killed. Sad twist is she was killed by her own lawyer. The information, the reason why the lawyer knew to kill her, is because information was being leaked, and it was said that the leak was coming from the FBI. So there's a Russian mole amongst the FBI. Mayfair tells Kurt, to find a mole, but not to inform anyone else, specifically anyone in his team, about the whole situation. But that quickly gets tossed out until the moment Jonas finds his way back. Still an asshole. He's here investigating the whole mole situation. Obviously still trying to make his power play that he was trying to last time, trying to get into a higher position. But and during that whole thing, I do love, because during the whole mole situation, we have Reed telling Kurt, yeah, I'm dating your sister. And then Kurt's like, really? Now? He's like, yeah, I'd rather you hear from me than find out from someone else, specifically this whole lie detector test thing that they had to answer. Kurt kind of looked a little pissed. I think more so than pissed, he was just more so annoyed just at the whole situation. Jonas hooks everyone up to lie detector machines. Everyone, Jane, Kurt, Tasha, Reed, Mayfair, Patterson, even what is Jane's doctor, the one who kind of like her, I guess he's her psychologist, right? Or her therapist. Him too, just trying to get answers out of anybody. And he's just being a complete and utter dick about it. Just poking and prodding at every little thing, every little inconsistency, trying to find any weak point that he could go after him at. And he ends up narrowing it down to Jane, Mayfair, and Tasha. He ends up getting Tasha to confess the fact is that she was working with the CIA, that basically that head CIA guy that died, that's dead, which no one else obviously knows he's dead but Jane. But, granted, everyone thinks he's dead, but no one is 100% sure except for Jane. She knows she's 100% sure he's dead. But basically, Tasha revealed the fact is that she was looking into Jane for him. And this leads to Jonas kind of, whittling around and kind of bringing, closing in the walls around Jane. He ends up showing her some photos of that night she slipped away, after she asked Mayfair to get rid of her. What's the word I'm looking for? They keep saying it all the time. I just can't remember. The guards that look after her detail, that's it. God, after she got rid of her detail that night, she would, obviously she ran, avoided a lot of security cameras, but she got caught because she reflected off of, I guess, like nearby cars and stuff like that. So that's how she got caught. And he's, pushing her and be like, okay, admit it that you're the Russian mole. And there's even a Russian asset who basically, he's kind of an inside man, basically confirming that Jane was the one. Kurt doesn't believe it, but doesn't matter what Kurt believes. Jane gets dragged away by FBI agents to end up going somewhere else. Kurt confronts the guy that was like, oh yeah, that's Jane, the one who told him it was Jane, but he ends up revealing, and Kurt kind of pieces it together himself that the real Russian mole was Jonas the entire time, which I guess that kind of makes sense with the whole being an asshole thing. I guess the writers wrote him specifically that way so you would hate him, and then when the time came to make the big reveal, it's like, oh, he's a traitor. It's like, good, I'm good. We have legitimate. We had legitimate reason to hate him before, but now we can legitimize our hatred even more. Basically, situation ends with he's walking away with Jane, and Kurt and the group catch up with him. Jane goes after him after Jonas tries to make a run. He reaches for something, but Jane puts him down. So, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too upset about Jonas dying, but still. Some pretty interesting things that happen at the end of the episode is we have Kurt, telling Reed not to end his relationship with his sister. His sister, he has that conversation with his sister, and his sister kind of gets super pissed about it. But he explains himself because he's like, after everything that they've lost in their lives, he doesn't want her to continue going through loss, because the way their job is, they have a very dangerous job, and he doesn't want his sister getting with someone that, could, something could happen and she could lose them at any moment, because it's like he's already in that position. If she lost him, that'd already be devastating. But to lose someone you really love and care about as well, like in that intimate type of way, would suck too. So that's why he didn't want her to be in a relationship. And he ended up saying he gives everything to protect people, which I guess it's like he gives everything of himself. He spends so much time protecting people, he doesn't have enough for himself, to get the things he wants. He goes around making sure everyone else is okay, but there's nothing left for him to make sure that he's okay. Specifically, I think it's this whole Jane situation that, has got him feeling the way he does, because it's like he tries to close that gap between him and Jane, but it seems like lately she's been kind of, especially after that kiss, and it just feels like she's pulling further and further away from him. We have Jane meeting up with that guy. We still don't know his name. And she even brought it up. She's like, I still don't know your name. I still don't know anything about you. Because she was asking, what side are we on? Are we with the Russians or whatever? He's like, what side we're on. She's like, I almost got caught because of all this, stuff. And essentially, she was like, I took down Jonas, the guy who was going to rat me out. He's like, oh, it's a good thing. You do know what side you're on. Now we can continue with our plans. But Jane was like, no, I'm done. And she walks away. And at the very end, we have Reed and Mayfair coming together because both of them are suspicious about Jane's alibi, about the nights that a CIA guy died. So things just keep getting more and more complicated, huh? But that's really all I want to talk about in this episode. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.